Hey guys, what is up? So, I'm on Smart Logic Simulator and I just want to show you guys a simple 4-bit computer that I made in here. It took me a total of 10 hours plus another 30 minutes to an hour programming and bug fixing. Uh, Now, the program that I have on here, it's just a simple test program. It counts from 0 to 16 or 0 to 15, and then when it hits 16, which is overflow since this is a 4-bit adder, I have it set to go to line 6 and stay on line 6 when it reaches overflow. So let's go ahead and start it up. And the clock speed is fairly slow. I could speed it up by either creating my own clock or by moving it into or by putting a faster clock, pre-made clock on it. And keep in mind that all of these orange bits, in case you guys have never heard of this app, all these orange bits are logic gates that you make. And as soon as this program is done running, I will show you guys what I mean by that. Alright, and it is done. As you can see, the clock is still pulsing uh, right up here. However, nothing is being changed on the display. I'm just going to go ahead and reset it, stop the clock, and I'm going to back out. Now, what I mean by you can create your own logic gates basically is, alright, let's say that I want to go and actually create my own right now. Let's just say that I wanted to create my own. Let's go with. Let's just create a X or a half adder. Now, keep in mind that these light bulbs are to indicate a output in it, and you guys will see what I mean as soon as I make this. So let's see here. So connect that one right there and to the XOR gate. And I already did that wrong. And again, that's on just because of a few bugs that's still in this. So we'll save it as half adder, back out, and go back into it. And oh, it helps if I use an XOR gate, not a XNOR. I don't even think I have this wired up correctly. Nope, I do. Alright. So again, let's save it. Go back out. Uh, let's start a new project. Come in here and find the half adder. There it is. Now, as you can see, what I mean by it is two lights are on the right. The two lights were on the right, now they're two outputs, and the two buttons that were on the left are now two inputs. So, again, if I just come in here, grab two light bulbs and two buttons, you can see that we have a full adder, or yeah, full adder, a half adder. And then of course, if I really wanted to, I could come back in here. Let's get, let's see here, that was 3, so alright. So let's just go ahead and get rid of that. Go back to this. And then let's see here, what else do I need? I need a OR gate. I need 4 of those. Actually, I need 5 of those. And is it just me, or did one of the half adders just disappear? I might have accidentally deleted it. Anyways, so let's go and wire these up. And I'll figure out if I wired these up correctly or not here in a minute. Then I gotta get some more buttons. And now, last but not least, some light bulbs. That was not the light bulb. And now that has to be moved so I can get to the light bulbs. As you can see, you have to wire up everything on its own. Alright. And yes, I did wire this up backwards. Alright, good to know. Alright, so let's wire this up correctly. And now, if I test this, 5 plus 3, and as you can see, we do get 8. And of course, let's just save this as (4BA) or 4B because it did not want to register me pressing A. Now, let's go back down into this half adder and check this out. So let's say that I wanted this to, let's say I wanted to name this, so now keep in mind the green squares had no label on it. So let's save this, go back into 4B, and as you can see, we now have a label, which means that you do not have to delete and replace them every time, or if you have to go back and correct them. I found this out the hard way. I ended up remaking my RAM because I didn't know about this feature. And that was not fun. And as you can see, it still works. I am probably going to be making a few more videos on this app just because I really like it. It's, I mean, if you're coming from Minecraft, then this will definitely teach you more about computers than that game has done. And on top of that, you can create your own logic gates and actually save them, rearrange them, and even, alright, check this out. That's not the button I wanted to press. Let's create a new integrated circuit, and then let's come in here and load the half adder. Let's connect out to that. I'm going to need a OR gate. I am also, actually I'm going to need 2 OR gates. I'm going to need a light bulb and 2 buttons. Alright, so and then from there I actually need to add in 1 more light bulb and 1 more button. And again, in this screen, it doesn't matter if you use a toggle button or a pulse button. After you save it, they both register as the same. Alright. And before I forget, let's connect those up. So now, if we test this, it works like full adder. So let's save this as, if I can type, save it as a full adder. And now if we load up 4B, now let's just go ahead and get rid of this. Actually, I should have kept the buttons. Yeah, the one downside to this is that it does not actually have a undo button. Alright, so let's load up the full adder. And, actually, let's go back to that. And name them. Alright, let's save that. Go back to 4B. And now, let's just go ahead and delete all of this. Load up the full adder. 4 of them to be specific. Now, A is the regular output. B goes into C. And now, as you can see, it is working as a full adder still. And of course, you can turn this down into 1 chip as well. Like, for example, when I already have one made, so I'll just go ahead load that. I'll connect up the wires. And as you can see, it's working as a regular adder. Alright, so is that's basically this game in a nutshell. However, you can basically create any logic gate you want through this. Uh, However, and in fact, you can actually make PROM, regular ROM, uh, yeah, all kinds of stuff. The only downside to it is like when you're making ROM. Uh, as soon as this loads in, I'll show you the downside to something this big. You might already notice my frame rate is not so good. Now, that's because this has over 240 connections on it, and I do believe that this game runs on a single core. Most phones nowadays, in fact, it should be in fact, all smartphones nowadays have a quad core processor. And so when doing something like this, like I just recommend saving it every 5 minutes that you do something, especially when it gets this big, because you never know when it's going to crash on you. Speaking of crashing, there has been one time that I figured out how to make the game crash. That's if you go to, or let's just turn the screen sideways here. If I can click on an item. There we go. Now, and unfortunately that's not, alright, there we go. Now, if you click on name, click that, and as soon as you bring up the keyboard, rotate the screen the other way, sometimes that can cause it to crash. And yeah, you see like right there. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Uh, and that's all I got for you today. That was a horrible outro. I'm going to be doing more videos on this, so stay tuned.